I spent a lot of my days in a black stupor, and the more they experimented, the more often I was back in the black place. When I came back from these trances, I noticed a change in my captor. Gone were their shining eyes of the enraptured. Disappeared were the weeping orbs of the enlightened. They were replaced by the flinty eyes of the zealot. And I was afraid that he might break his promise. He looked angry, but also resolved. Whatever I told him weighed heavily on him, but I wouldn't understand the burden for a while yet. Not till the day it all came to an end. I came to one afternoon to find an intrusive light leaking into my dark chamber. They had always kept me in this persistently dark room, but now the door was open, and something was laying in it. On the floor there were others, none of them moving, and I was confused by their sudden stillness. Was this something new? Were they sleeping, or were they... I tried to put that out of my mind. They couldn't be dead. I reminded myself as I shook my chains. If they were all dead, then who would free me so I didn't die here too? I did as you said, came a monotone voice. And I jumped as I realized one of the slumped forms had only been praying. It was McAllister, and he looked wild. His salt and pepper hair was sticking up at odd angles, and his face was spattered with blood. His shirt was soaked in something, and it hung on him like a wet sack. He appeared to be praying, but as something clicked in his shaking hands, I saw that he had a gun. I was afraid that he would shoot me too for a half a second. But as he put it under his chin, I became even more afraid that he would use it on himself. I have risen as high as I can. Your will dictates that I must shed my vehicle to rise any higher. I shall see you on the other side. His blood made a crimson line across my face as the gun went off, and suddenly my fear was realized. I was alone. Luckily for me, someone heard the gunshot. I would lay in that bed for 2 days before the FBI came to investigate the compound. It turned out they had been keeping an eye on McAllister for quite some time, ever since he had started gathering followers at his home. After 2 years in his compound, they had been trying to prepare a case against him before he woke up one morning and decided to put an end to his little flock. With the help of his wife, they had poisoned the morning meal, and McAllister had drawn his inner circle to a meeting before breakfast, where he shot them as they sat and listened to my latest ramblings. They had found journals that claimed these were things I had told them to do. But after interviewing me, I think they decided he was out of his mind. At least, that's what Agent Maxett had led me to believe. We're going to have to hold you as a person of interest, but it honestly sounds like you were an unwilling participant. I'm going to go and get some things in order. Have a seat in here and we'll make some accommodations for you. After he left, I noticed the recorder sitting on the table. It wasn't running, which I had expected. And when I reached for it, I saw that the tape inside had a date on it that I remembered. It was the date of my first session with Dr. McAllister. I couldn't imagine a reason behind the FBI having a tape with that date on it unless McAllister had recorded it for some reason. I put the recorder back down, trying to stop my curiosity before it could take root. I had never heard what I sounded like in that state that seemed to enrapture the old doctor so much. What had I said to him to make him throw his whole life away in the pursuit of it? I couldn't help myself. I hit play on the recording and listened as McAllister told me to be calm and began to count down from 10. It wasn't the jagged, often flighty voice I remembered from any time after the session. This was McAllister at his most sane. And as he came to one, I heard him gasp and ask what I was doing. From the recording, I heard a slightly deeper version of my own voice, and it filled me with dread. Agent Maxett has listened to the tapes, and he's becoming as unstable as the good doctor. If you don't escape now, I fear that he'll have you just like McAllister did. You'll have to be quick, and you'll have to be smart. But if you mean to be free, you need to find a way to get out of here. Good luck.